totally forgot. Dude, you were almost the voice for Aang.
So I was like crying, like I just want to end and my mom's literally like, oh, go ahead, go do it. Yeah, right, I bet you won't. Like literally just like, you're stupid. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna be really honest with you. This is the first time I'm talking about it like live. Like, you know, people would definitely listen to this. This is the first time it's out. Like there's stuff that she don't even know that if she heard this, it's out. So I'm ready.
You okay?
Of course. Of course.
Guess what? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, bro chachas and sis chachas. I'm here with one of my best friends.
Yeah, let's
One of my
go.
best fucking friends, Benji Kil. And I guess according to Tiff, we're himbos.
Yeah, we're himbos, I guess.
I didn't even know what a himbo was until you told me, like, you looked it up on Urban Dictionary or something.
Yeah, we were just partying and she called us that.
Apparently means we're dumbasses too.
Yeah, like just appealing looking, but at the same time we have no brains. And I'm like, damn.
That's cap.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
I mean, you're smart. I dropped out of college, so.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
I technically dropped out of my grad school degree like a week before.
But like, what was your major?
Well, it was going to be biomechanical engineering.
Okay, see that right there sounds super smart. Like mine was just supply chain management. Like I was an idiot.
Supply chain management sounds amazing, bro. You're
No.
going to supply the world with chain management.
Exactly. Yours is like like sounds like you could be an astronaut.
It sounds like you could be an astronaut.
Yeah, see, I'm dropped out.
I'm too scared of heights. That's not going to happen.
I'm scared of heights too. That's probably why we're close.
That's why this is fuckboy philosophy.
Fuckboy philosophies.
Fuckboy philosophy.
Here we go.
We just randomly made this up like 3 seconds ago before we started the podcast.
And we're running with it.
If this is what we're going to call this podcast episode, fuckboy philosophy.
I hope it does well because since it's fuckboy philosophies, we're going to full send into this topic.
We're not actually fuckboys. I swear to God.
No, I don't think we are.
What did we think about that? Oh, just because Tiff calls us that? I think it's because we've been through some shit, dude.
Yeah, we've been through a lot.
Yeah.
We've weathered through it. And I just feel like some people we meet through our mutuals and friends, we talk to them. They just had that assumption of us. But at the same time, no, because like they talk to us. We probably make everyone laugh. We're always active. We're always social. Like, yeah. I don't know.
I don't think anyone that knows us for a longer period of time ever really thinks that.
Yeah.
I think that's simply a first impression type shit.
Is that a good or bad thing?
I don't know. It depends.
I guess we could
Depends on who you're thinking about.
That's true. I almost think like being called a fuckboy is kind of a compliment now. I know that sounds terrible, but
I feel like my voice sounds a little more bassy than usual. I wonder if maybe I had a little growth spurt last night.
I know. I'm turned on by it though. It sounds good.
Nice. Nice. That was the best compliment in the world that I've ever gotten. Someone commented on one of the thingies like, wow, I think your voice is made for this. And I was just like,
I mean,
no way.
You do have
think so?
Yeah. Actually, not try to be biased or anything. Like you do have a voice for it. I actually listen to your podcast.
I never ever thought that. My entire life, every time I'd see or hear recordings of myself, I'd be like, dude, why do I sound so cringy? I would just hate hearing the sound of my own voice.
No, you definitely sound like you have a whole lot of wisdom. Like every time you talk, like it sounds like you're saying something like super important. And then like I hear myself and I'm like, damn, I sound like such a bro right now. And it's like, just gotta just run with it.
Dude, I think the same thing about you. When I hear you, I feel like every time we talk about some like real deep shit, I'm just like, Benji has a whole lot of wisdom. That's what I think.
I guess it comes out when it needs to, but I have this exterior of just like always wanting to just be playful, have fun, have like a light energy, you know, just not be too serious, because I think like another thing is when people first meet me, from what I hear from everyone, I tend to look unapproachable. I don't know. I kind of have like an RBF a little bit, which I understand. So I try to.
That's common for Asians.
Yeah, but I think mine's just a little bit stronger than most. Like if you compare us to like our other Asian friends, I feel like I definitely look pretty mean out the gate.
You smile a lot, so that changes things.
Fun fact, I literally just started smiling the moment I moved here. Used to never smile.
Really?
Never. If you look at all my old photos, never. Mouth closed, like stern blue steel look.
Is this like a conscious thing?
I used to, I don't know. I grew up just like I said, I used to get made fun of and stuff. I grew up in the Midwest, like in Michigan. So I just felt like every time I smiled, I remembered someone just like making fun of my eyes or like, all the typical racial gestures. So I kind of like grew up like trying to open my eyes up more and at the same time just not smile because I thought it made me look tough. And then, being a former professional athlete and playing basketball, like through my whole life was just, I just had to keep like a straight face. That was like really it. But since moving here, I've just been a little bit more open and I've definitely changed a lot when I moved here. So one thing I wanted to do was like learn to smile more. So now I smile a shit ton.
Kind of cool to hear, bro. I think that's a good thing to hear about LA because most people have a bad perception of LA too.
Super bad perception. Really bad. It's I've had nothing but good experiences here for now. I mean, I'm not gonna be like it's the best place ever, but you gotta know what you're coming here for and stick to that, but also be present and know that you're enough and the right people will come and go in your life. Like I came here and never in a million years would I have been like, oh, I'm gonna meet Nyle. And oh, I'm gonna be friends with this guy. Oh, I'm gonna be on a like that was just never in my thought process, and that's just because when I moved here, I was open to opportunities. I never said no. I never blocked off potential opportunities or anything. So all that happened because I was taking a chance on myself, said yes, and now I'm here. Now we're homies.
I think with that being said, I think we should definitely talk about. So Benji, my boy, we actually met on this boat party.
Yeah.
For Johnny's birthday, right?
Yep.
It was a savage boat. It was a savage boat party.
It was a dope boat party.
But some things I actually didn't know about you, bro. So Benji is actually a former pro basketball player. And you were the first Asian to play in Europe as an American import. Huh? That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely something I forget that I accomplished because I feel like I didn't accomplish what I wanted exactly in my basketball career.
What did you want exactly?
Obviously, growing up, you want to play in the NBA, and I was definitely one of the better athletes and players in the state of Michigan at the time. But I grew up in the era where there was no like MySpace and Facebook mostly. There wasn't like TikTok or Instagram or anything, and at that time, Asians were not really considered people you'd want to take on for a high-level college or to be a pro athlete. Like Jeremy Lin just started. I went to college when Jeremy Lin just like kind of had his like little crazy like Linsanity moment. So for me, I just pursued, but I don't feel like I got the attention or like chances that I felt like I deserved. Actually, I went through a lot of racial situations that made me quit playing college basketball, which also led to me basically dropping out of college. Not saying that proudly, but those are just the choices I made at the time. And then my career, I played 5 years overseas in multiple countries, training camp for the NBA, 2 injuries to both my ankles that just led me to be like, this just might not be what I need to do. Like it's just too much on my body. I don't feel like I'm getting the attention I deserve, like just kind of being a little whiny baby about it. Yeah, but in the end, I accomplished a lot. I know I motivated, inspired, encouraged a lot of people, just not maybe at the level I wanted. But again, like you just got to enjoy the victories that you had. And I'm more excited and proud of like where I'm going with my life right now.
What happened?
For what?
The racial experiences.
Well, through high school, I went to a Detroit private school. So, I mean, I went to school with just all black people. Not that I say that in a racial way. It's just the environment that I was in. But that also really molded me and gave me like really tough skin, which is great. But during high school, I remember one of the games, like, here's some racial incidents. One was someone threw a brick in the school and it literally said, like, we're going to kill the chink. So I was not allowed to go to school for 2 weeks.
Oh,
and it delayed one of our games. It was like a rival game because I was doing really well. So don't know what that was about, but, that's scary for a kid in high school and for my family. Another one, by my senior year, we had a rival game and we're in the warm-up lines and there's like a sold out crowd. So whole gym was filled up, and I remember I turned my back behind a whole group of bleachers, which is about 500 kids. And I just randomly felt like hundreds of chopsticks being thrown at me and fortune cookies. So the whole stand literally went to a Chinese restaurant, took all their chopsticks and fortune cookies, and they all at the same time chucked it at me before a game. So we had to delay the game for 30 minutes so they could clean the court.
Holy shit.
So like that's like things I really had to go through, but fought through that. But the problem was like when I went to college, I was 130 pounds graduating high school. It's like a really tiny kid, never touched a weight. And I wanted to play Division I basketball, but like I was 5'10" at the time too. But super athletic. I was known for dunking and shooting. So had my opportunities, but when I went to college, I was just so small and I could not take the physical demand of high level basketball. And then I started to get bigger, a little bit stronger, but then I just dealt with coaches and some players just making fun of me throughout the whole process. Like I'll be the first one in the gym, the last one to leave, still made fun of. Like I still remember one of my coaches, we ran into a huddle. This is in college, by the way. And I went right to the front trying to be a good teammate and listen to the coach. But he just looked at me and just said, drop and give me 15 Tokyo Drift. Literally. Just for no reason. So in front of the whole team, just doing push-ups. And he was just saying like ching chong, like just making like weird Asian gestures just to get a laugh. And there's like other moments similar to that, but I think I just hit a breaking point of like just feeling really disrespected. And at that time, as much as I went through a lot, I also felt like I grew up really entitled, which, was my ego. So I think part of me was like, I want to quit. I don't want to do this. Like, I'm sick of this. No one's going to give me another chance, blah, blah, blah. So I just quit. And I got into bodybuilding because at the time, my first girlfriend, I dated her all through high school, going into my freshman year of college. And I actually find out she cheats on me. So that was messed up. And the reason why I got into lifting was I remember she would wear all my clothes. Literally. She could like literally wear it, same size. And she's just like, you're just not man enough for me.
Oh my God.
Like, I literally remember that. She's like, I could literally fit your fucking clothes. And like, that's what got me into lifting. I quit basketball. I was like, I'm gonna just change my whole body. And didn't know a thing. Just Googled everything. Was like, went to GNC monthly. Just taking whatever I thought would give me a six pack. And I just kind of learned slowly the process. Then got my NASM and my CS without even going to school for it. I just did that on the side just because I fell in love and got addicted to like, how can I make myself look the best possible? So yeah, that's why I'm kind of where I'm at right now. Yeah.
That's a lot of shit you went through, bro.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how to compartmentalize everything right now because, not gonna lie, I didn't think I was gonna get like, not emotional, but like a little tight about it, talking about it. So that's why I'm a little thrown off right now. But yeah, I just went through a lot. Trying to like really not like I'm giving you like the good stuff, but there's just like so much more that goes into that I just don't think people realize how much I had to go through and why I walked away from it, and then why it's now part of my content that I still have to do because no matter what, it's my identity. Like I moved here to be an actor and model, not to be known as a basketball player, but being that basketball player is what gets me in the door a lot right now. So as much as I hate it, I don't want to say hate it, as much as I try to run away from it, I'm trying to learn to accept it more because I think every time I go back to basketball, something like traumatic clicks in my head where I just feel like the shitty version of myself comes back out, and stuff I'm not proud of doing in my past. I feel like that all clicks in with that athlete mindset that I had. Yeah. But that's why I smile more now, because like we have a better relationship now as friends too, because I'm in a different like mindset now. And I don't think I'd be a good friend to you or anyone else if I was still in that athletic mindset that I used to have, or the whole playing the victim, thinking everyone's out to get me, you know, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a weird give and take, man. I truly believe that anyone who has achieved that level of success has had a memory that they can derive from that has caused them that kind of pain. Anything that has stimulated their just emotional system to the point of, why the fuck am I even here? And I think it's strange, because if you hold on to that like resentment, it'll easily affect anyone's social life, right?
Yeah.
Anyone's just wellness, literally overall engagement with the people around them, maybe your relationship with your spouse and your family. And I think in letting these things go, it gives us like this freedom, this freedom and this empowerment to live life happier and more fulfilled, and make maybe better choices for happiness. But I do think that holding on to that resentment, you can really utilize that. You really can. And so it's hard,
Yeah.
It's hard to like make the switch when you need it. Like, be happy about what you have now and be present when you can now, versus when do you want to bring back that darkness, or when do you want to like think about your origins, what drives you.
That's a lot. I'll definitely say like you're definitely right. I feel like there's a time and place for it, and I think I'm definitely in a spot of my life where I'm looking to know when it's time to use that. Because as you said, like even though that part of me, we could say it's my darkness, or my trauma, all that made me get to where I'm, where I wanted to be. So I'm not like embarrassed by it. I just think it's more since I've just turned the page in my life where I'm trying to transition my life into a different career that is just as hard to make, and I'm trying to take the good parts of that drive that I used to have, put it into what I do now, which is like the discipline, the hard work, learning when to say no, learning when to say yes, and all that stuff. But at the same time, like I said, my biggest motto is like just be present. Like I say that to myself all the time. If I'm like at the end of the day, I'm doing this podcast with you, that's great. But like the most important thing I want to get out of this is that I'm just being present with you. Like I'm just learning more about you as well, and appreciating your time that I'm here, and just like developing that friendship, like to me, that's more important. So like I'm learning to like just be in the moment more. So yeah, I think I'm like trying to figure myself out more right now. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. I think that connection is probably the most important thing that I've realized that continues to keep me fulfilled. But every connection that I've had that was very close, every time I've met somebody that I feel like, I'm like, there's something about you that reminds me of my best friends. There's something about you that I just resonate with. It's always been that I've met someone that's been through a lot of pain, someone that's been through some fucking shit.
Yeah.
Man. Whereas like the people where I don't want to say bad things about other people, or like, think of any like generalizations here, but the people that just haven't experienced shit, I just can't get along with majority of the time. People who haven't been through something that's just absolutely unbearable or just painful or just whatever. It's just, for some reason, it's hard for me to like relate or like connect with them.
Well, it's because they can't understand you past surface level. That's the biggest thing. I think I'm the same way. Is everyone has gone through something, but it's really just how it affected you, you know what I mean? And how you fight through it and everything. But I think that's also how you and I got closer. Because I feel like there's certain moments where, you know, at the one time we hung out, we're in your car, you know, we're driving to somewhere and we're talking about our past. I think that moment in my head was when I was like, damn, I can be close with him, because I was like, that was super deep on your end to even be open, you know, and vulnerable about telling me your stories. But the crazy part was like, not a single part of me thought that in that conversation I could relate to you. But when you told me, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I literally relate, understand exactly how you feel, like, and how it affected you after. Like, at the event, I like, as much as I wanted to like get you out of it, I remember like, I know how that feels, and you just can't get out of it. It's like you just kind of have to go through it. And I just like looked at you and I just want to be like, hey, just know that I love you. You know, get through what you got to get through at that moment, you know, because that sucked. But that's one of those moments where I'm like, okay, that's a homie. Like, I can be close with them. Like, that just made sense to me.
Honestly, you kind of reminded me. I actually kind of retract the statement I said about just people that have been through pain. It's actually people who have been through pain but have this outlook where they still love. Like, they can still love. And that's fucking hard, man, because I've met a lot of people who have been through the shit, but they also just hate everything around them. And they walk through life with hate. And you can just feel that, bro. We can all feel that energy. And it's it turns you away, you know. I'm not sure if it's closed-minded. I feel like maybe it just hurts, and they don't know how they want to give back. They don't know how they want to cope. But all my closest friends had all lost their fathers, like, in their childhood. Like, their dads all died, except maybe for Dion's. And then Ryan even like basically watched his mom die, shot by her boyfriend at the time. A lot of my friends had been through some lonely moments and some big crap, and I've lost a lot of people. But for some reason, they're always so positive. They're always more positive than I am. They're always a better example, man.
Yeah, I could only imagine. I was like, that's deep. I was like, I can't relate to either one of those, but yeah, I don't know how I'd even be able to cope with it. So they can have a positive mindset out of that. Like, damn, teach me. You know, like there's definitely something amazing about being able to like get through that and then still spread positivity or influence people. Cause like I definitely know Dion at least. And he knows. I tell him, I was like, dude, there's something about you. Every time I see you, like, I just have so much love for you. Like, you're such a positive dude. And there just doesn't seem like a moment where, I don't know, I just always feel like I get good energy from him. And then when we do have these deeper talks, I was like, oh shit, you've like actually gone through stuff, you know? And I'm like, and to still have this outlook, I was like, that's crazy. And that's why I like highly respect him as well. Good dude.
Yeah, he is. Our best friend Ryan was like the most phenomenal person I've ever met on the planet. Every time I think about him, I think of like Forrest Gump, but honestly, better. Honestly, crazier. Been through more things. I feel like Forrest Gump was more of like an underdog, whereas Ryan was like someone who went through hell but continued to give out heaven.
Oh, wow.
Which does not make any sense to me still to this day, how you could be someone like that. But there's people like that out there, and I think those people deserve to be seen. And I don't know him well enough myself, but we had just met this weekend. But I don't know if you've heard of Shizzy. I don't know what his last thing is on TikTok, Shizzy something. But it's this guy who he's like probably one of the most talked about like people in the fitness industry right now.
Okay.
Yeah. We hung out at the Young LA event and we got pretty close. And I was like, I fucking feel it again. I feel the same thing. I feel it with this guy.
Yeah.
Shizzy has that energy that I can tell he's been through it, bro. He's been through it. He's been through crap. But from our first encounter and the entire time we hung out, he showed nothing but love.
Mm.
Nothing but like just, you know, caring for the people around him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so much love for his mother, so much care for his family. And you know, I don't know him well enough to like continue on about this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
hopefully you do develop that relationship or friendship with him.
I would love to, yeah. I would love to, because I can like truly feel it from him. Like there's a lot of people in the I could meet. I've met so many famous people, bro. I've met so many popular people on social media, and I gotta tell you, I feel like a majority of the time I don't want to talk to them ever again. Maybe not a majority of the time, but maybe like half of the time I haven't wanted to really talk to them again. But recently here in LA, I've met a lot of people that I truly vibe with, and I think are really, really amazing people that I didn't think I would. I thought moving here, you know, everyone has the perception that if you go to some place like LA or whatever, where everyone's just trying to get up there, trying to get ahead in their career, their passion, or whatever they're trying to do, they're probably doing a lot for themselves, that everybody is just there to take advantage of you. But it's not necessarily the case. I think everybody's scared of being taken advantage of here.
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean that they're trying to take advantage of each other.
It could be wrong, but I feel like the people who talk about it the most, as you said, like, oh, like you shouldn't, or they have this, like, you know, they definitely preach the stereotype of LA, the negatives. It is like, one, they're scared, but two, it's like, I feel like those are the people who really didn't like give LA or their goal a shot. You know, that's like my personal opinion. Like, when you come to LA, like obviously you have a dream, or like you want to probably do something. Like they call us transplants because we're not from California.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we all come here and like we want to do something. But I've learned that out of 10 of us, maybe 2 of us are really trying to go for it. You know, and I think other people like lose sight of it, or they kind of like lose their momentum or their excitement to try and push for things. So I feel like a lot of them almost like use that whole philosophy of LA to like be an excuse, because I don't think you really tried. Because my thing is, like you or anyone else, like if you really give your all into something, like give it your best shot, I really believe things happen. That's just like my thought process. Like if you like, even when I played basketball, like I dropped out of college, I didn't finish playing college basketball or anything. I said I want to be a pro basketball player. That's like already a 1% chance of making it, literally, like 1 or 2%. I didn't care. I worked my ass off and I made it happen. And then even coming here, I dropped everything back home. My family, past relationship, my whole business where I help kids get into college and all that stuff. I dropped all that to be an actor, you know? And I just believe like I have to like really push for that. And as long as I believe in it and give it my best shot, I just don't see any way that this won't work out. I'm just a firm believer in that. And I believe that's for anyone. So I just don't really have much. I can't really relate to other people that can't pursue their dreams hard. I think that's my thing. It might sound really shallow, but if you don't have dreams or you don't want to go for them, and all I hear you do is talk about it, like, oh, I could, but I can't, or I don't really want to talk to you more.
You gotta just do it.
It's okay to
do it.
Yeah, you gotta just do it. There's no failure in it, because like I said, in basketball, like I wanted to go with the NBA, right? I didn't make it to the NBA, but how many doors did I just open for other people to follow, and how many doors did I open to get me to where I'm at right now? You know, I started my acting by getting a Nike commercial. I would have never got that if I didn't play pro basketball, you know, like, and then coming here in literally 1 year, I've lived here for 1 year, maybe like with a couple more months. The amount of friends I have now, the amount of network and connections I have here, and at the same time, just being a better person in this so-called city of where people suck. Like, I don't know. I can't relate. I just truly believe like there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel for me. And now I have quality people that I genuinely love and like to have on my side. And it's going to be an amazing feeling to bring you guys with me onto my journey, and vice versa. You know, I support everything you do, and the other homies and all that stuff. Like, always super proud of you. Always, you know, put my best foot forward for you if you need anything. So
thank you, brother.
You know the vibes, but like, as long as you just do that, like, I don't know. I just don't see how you fail. Everything is just doing it.
It's not even a thought, honestly. You go out there and you make the move. You put yourself in the space that you put yourself in that space to receive what it is that you want. If you put in the work because you want to be somewhere, if you actually do whatever it is that you believe in, the universe, God, is going to be there to give it to you.
Absolutely.
It's going to happen.
You just got to put yourself in the situation. So, yeah, man. I mean, you did it too. Like you already, established yourself when you lived in San Diego, right? Like that's where you like did your content and everything. And then like could have stayed there, right? But to grow yourself and everything, you put yourself in a whole new city. And even now, for as long as I've known you, like so much growth, so much change, so much dope shit has happened. And I feel like a lot of creators or just a lot of people itself, like they're too afraid to make the move or make the jump, you know? And it shows. That's why I know you're gonna be successful, is because like you keep making jumps and you keep taking quote unquote risks. But I don't believe in risks. I just believe that you just gotta do it.
I think it's just a very scary world out here for a lot of people though, because risks are scary. And when it comes to, let's say, like, you know, being in the acting industry or doing social media, especially, there is hate out there, and there's a lot of rejection.
A lot.
And I think it's hard for us to. We don't want to be rejected, man. No one likes that feeling.
Yeah, but it's like you could be. Yeah, I mean, I understand what you said.
Fuck by philosophy, though, right?
Yeah,
rejection makes you better.
Yeah, that's basically it, man. I don't want to fucking say it that way, but like, it's just like, for me, I've been rejected. Like, I mean, that's the best part about growing up in an area where like Asian guys, there wasn't a lot of us. And like no one thought.
Or we've had to deal with racism.
Like
we've had a lot of rejection.
Yeah, you just deal with rejection from not just like your classmates and just regular. Like you literally deal with it when you walk into a store or a restaurant, and it's like, dude, rejection to me is like, I'm used to it. You know, like it doesn't faze me that much. It's more like I got to make choices for myself instead of being afraid. That's it. I think the biggest insecurity I got growing up was I was just always afraid to like speak for myself. And that's why I never smiled, or at first, before I moved here, I never talked much. Now I can't shut the fuck up.
I've been rejected by my mom, my dad, the people around me, all the peers around me, people that I just walk into a store, see. I was rejected for being overweight and ugly. I was rejected for being unfit. I was rejected for being weird. I was rejected for being Asian. I was just rejected for a lot of things. I was rejected for reading anime on the bus. Hella rejected for that. Some kid fucking called me gay just because I was like reading Dragon Ball. Yeah. And you know, sometimes fucking Goku just takes his fucking pants off.
Yeah.
As a kid.
I didn't get to grow up watching anime. That's the fucked up part. I didn't get to. I looked at it such like a bad thing. Like I saw it. I really wanted to watch Dragon Ball, like on Cartoon Network and all the other animes, like Inuyasha and everything. Like I really wanted to watch it. I could literally remember the days when I was younger. I would watch it and I would change the channel because in my head, I was like, if I keep watching this, I'm gonna get made fun of, or I'm not gonna be cool. Yeah. Like I literally told myself that. So I'd watch what everyone else watched, which was like Dexter's Laboratory, like the typical non-Asian type cartoons, just so I can fit in and have a conversation with people at school.
Steph and I were talking about that.
It's fucked up.
We'd be reading a manga and then someone would walk by and we'd immediately close it as if we were like looking at porn or something.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say though is I've been rejected a lot, but I still do feel rejection even to this day, and it still hurts a lot. It hurts a lot, bro. Like when I reach out to someone for a podcast, when I ask someone to hang out, when I don't know, just any time I'm like asking for anything, I have the opportunity to be rejected. So I don't know why I still feel it, but every time I think of one thing, and that's rejection. Every rejection that happens means I'm one step farther. Every rejection that I overcome means I'm one step stronger. And Steve Aoki, I've said this several times, but Steve Aoki, who I believe and many others believe as one of like the greatest collab artists of all time. says that he's been rejected so many times that his expectation is to believe that 70% of whatever he wants to happen will never happen. 70%. That's a lot, dude. 70%?
Shit ton.
That's fucking huge.
Yeah.
3/4 of the time that you want something to happen
You
at
only
all,
get a quarter of it.
whether it's with someone or not, is not going to happen. So just expect it. So every time you reach out, if you don't receive the acceptance back, just say, "Oh, that's just part of the 70%."
Yeah. Damn, that is
Now I'm
deep.
that much closer to the 30% that's going to accept it.
Yeah, that is deep. I would say, like, obviously, accept rejection really sucks. It still does for me, so I'm not saying like I don't feel that. But I think what separates us or many other people is we develop this like resilience to it a little bit more. Like, yes, it sucks, but we can still take our steps further, you know, and that's where you said, you know, a rejection takes you one step farther. And that is, my mind just went to it as a fuckboy philosophy. Damn. I just thought about a girl. I was like, yeah, getting rejected just made me one step closer to you. God damn it. Something's wrong with me. Something's wrong with me.
I hope Tiff doesn't listen to this. Everything she thinks about us just got validated.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, that quote right there, I'm about to live by that. I'm about to get rejected tomorrow and be like, it's all right, I'm one step closer.
Oh my God.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Jesus. Literally though, like honestly, that kind of brings me to something I want to ask about like your relationships.
All right, let's do it.
But real quick before we do that though, I totally forgot. Dude, you were almost the voice for Aang
Yeah.
in the Avatar?
100%, bro.
What?
Yes.
How the fuck did that happen?
Dude.
Wait, like the animation?
The actual anime.
No way.
Aang. I have my phone. I have the back. It's my phone case.
Tell me about it. What happened?
Fuck, dude. It kind of sucks, All right. So, believe it or not, before I played ball and everything, like I actually grew up wanting to be an actor. So, I lived in California with my mom through elementary. So, first grade through fourth grade. I was homeschooled. And at that time, in the early 2000s, no Asians were getting casted for anything. Like, literally didn't matter. And my teacher and our homeschool, I got homeschooled with all the Disney stars. Not lying. Hilary Duff, Lizzie McGuire, Austin Butler, who plays Elvis in that movie that just came out, Kyle Massey is part of That's So Raven.
That's crazy.
Much more. I lived and went to school with all the Disney cast members. I was supposed to be groomed into the Disney shows. I went to every audition for. It was That's So Raven. That was the biggest one. And Lizzie McGuire, I kept getting callbacks for. They just had no fit for an Asian person for me at the time. So I wasn't getting anything. So that's how I got into basketball, because I had a basketball court near the apartment. So I just played nonstop. That's how I just became a basketball lover. I fell in love playing it in California. But back to the Aang story was, they just said, hey, Nickelodeon wants to do an audition. It's like this cartoon about like martial arts and like Asian stuff, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know anything about it, right? So I just went in, did a voiceover, kind of like this mic like this. I was super nervous because it was the first voiceover audition I ever did. Mm-hmm. Just read a few lines. As a little kid. I'm like, oh, okay, you're done. That's it. And then like a week later, I get a call back. My mom's like, oh my God, this cartoon wants you. It's between you and someone else. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, it's like, and then my agent at the time and manager were like, Benji, this is like a really big show. There's a lot of money put into this. We don't know if it'll do well, but you know, there's a lot of money in the show. So I was like, okay. So I'm like this little kid, like just like, I don't know what to do. So we went to the Nickelodeon studios. And I remember we got there an hour and a half early. There's a reason why. But we got there early. Everything was closed. They were just on time. So we waited an hour and a half outside. And I did the audition. And literally the next day, they just went with the other kid. That was it. They just said, hey, you did great, but we're going to go with the other kid, which is fine. And I didn't pay no mind to it until I went back home maybe a year later, and I saw the show on Nickelodeon. And I heard the voice. I'm like, oh, this is kind of a cool show. But then the more I watched it, I was like, wait, I really like this show. And then everyone else is talking about the show. And then in my head, I was like, oh my God, I could have been that guy right there with the blue arrow on his head. Like, that was supposed to be me. And I remember I would tell my friends when I was younger too. They'd be like, yo, shut up. You're stupid. You know, you're lying. I'm like, why would I lie? Like, I know what I auditioned for. They're like, no, you're just saying that to be cool. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But yeah, almost had it. Who would have thought?
That's crazy.
I know. I mean, they did the perfect voice though. That fits for the thing. Like, I probably did not sound like him. So
I'm so curious what you sound like at that age. How old were you?
Man, was I like 5th grade? No, 4th grade. So that was 4th grade. I kind of think like 11.
Yeah.
Maybe 11.
I feel like that was probably meant to happen for you though, dude. Like, you wouldn't have been through this whole basketball experience, bro. Like, none of this would have happened, bro. We probably wouldn't have even met.
No.
There's a high chance we wouldn't have.
It's a full circle moment for me, bro. Like, I didn't accomplish acting at the time. And then I got into basketball because of all the time off. And then I came back home, became a pretty good athlete. Then I played a little bit. And then it's funny how this full circle moment came back to being an actor again.
Now basketball is helping you become an actor.
And basketball is now helping me do what I'm doing now, because I only got scouted because I did a music video. And that music video was based off my basketball skills for some reason. So it's like, all this worked out full circle. And that is why I truly believe when the world opens up, I'm going to accomplish my goals as an actor, because I just believe that that's what God put me through. There's no reason why he would put me back into this like circus of dreams and goals. And I think all that rejection I've had through basketball and quote unquote coming up short in my career is all supposed to help me weather the storm of what I'm going through right now. So I'm very confident about the future.
Plus, I feel like that kid probably, like, we don't know, but that kid could have been like practicing for years for this kind of shit. Like, he could have been doing voice acting for forever. And then here you are with the first time doing voice acting ever, and you take his spot.
Yeah, that would have been
fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, only thing I'm probably missing out on is the money would have been probably dope. The money would have been dope. But yeah, I'd probably be even more of an asshole then. Yeah, fucking cocky ass 11-year-old asshole. That'd be funny. But yeah, that's damn. It's one of my favorite animes too. So it's like,
don't worry, bro. You're aimed to me, man.
Hey, there you go. I mean,
you're better. You're more like a Zuko.
Yeah, there you go. They have the live action coming out soon.
Yeah, I heard about it, dude. I heard that's supposed to be good, but like, we're all sus about live action.
Yeah. No. I mean, I just watched the One Piece one. It's actually not bad. I'm not gonna lie. It's not bad. I watched it.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm very confident about the Avatar live action. I feel like these live actions are gonna get better and better and better now. I really do, with everything going on and like AI and everything. There's just no way they can mess up these, like, if they do, like, man, yeah.
You think so?
You know what? I'm gonna just be benefit of the doubt. I'm just gonna say, yeah. I think live series are gonna be like the new thing. They're running out of content. I think the new thing is to like bring in anime, because anime is like such a trend right now. Also Asians, which is stupid. But, like we're a trend.
You and I both know that we fucking love it. You and I both know that we love it now. Like, this is literally the moment in time that we never would have ever expected. We never ever thought that we, from the bottom of the fucking food chain, would finally find ourselves at something that's kind of like at least somewhat fucking admired.
You're right.
It's pretty crazy, dude. It's pretty crazy.
You're right.
This is literally the best life.
I kind of love it.
Like, I feel like nowadays, now because of this, I look back and I'm thinking like, oh my God, dude, all those years of just pain and everything. And I know I'm going to sound dramatic. I know I'm going to sound dramatic, and this is ridiculous. And I don't think anyone should ever go through like thinking this process, but people do. But in my life, there was a lot of times where I felt really suicidal through my childhood. And I'm just thinking like, thank God, dude. Thank God I wasn't
weathered through it.
I wasn't fucking stupid and just pulled the plug, you know? Thank God. Because life is so much better now that instead I just redirected that energy into moving forward.
Yep. Yeah. And like I said, man, I'm glad you didn't pull that trigger either, because, you know, we'd all love to see what you're about to do next.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I hope it's good. I don't know. I'm just trying.
Oh, shit, it's always good, man. We're Asian. We're trending.
Trending.
Oh
my God.
You could do something stupid and somehow it would still be cool.
Oh, shit. I don't know about that for me. Maybe for you, though.
Nah, dude. You could do something stupid. It'd probably be really cool still.
We'll get right back to the podcast in a second, but I just wanted to take this break to thank you guys immensely, because this podcast is my favorite content to create, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. Contributing to it will further help its growth and allow us to listen to more amazing guests such as the one you're listening to today. So if you'd like to support the podcast, you can do so by rating us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you find your podcast, or subscribing to the YouTube channel. And if you would like to help fund the podcast, you can do so by using Nyle for a discount off of Young LA clothing or huge supplements. Thank you guys again so much. We'll be right back to the podcast. Okay, so tell me about your, you were in a long ass relationship. So this was different than the one that cheated on you, but then you were in a 5-year relationship, right?
Yeah, I'm in a 5-year, super long one.
Okay, so that's kind of crazy, dude, that she was like, oh yeah, you're just not man enough for me. And then she cheats on you.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I would just start thinking.
Yeah. Oh, that was my first one. That was my first girlfriend.
If that happened to me, bro, I would just immediately start injecting Tren.
Yeah.
I would just,
you know what? Dude, I will tell you, like, that was probably those suicidal moments I had. I remember like literally going up this random middle school near my house.
that was a joke, by the way. That was a total joke. I don't think anyone should do that.
Oh yeah, don't do it. But like,
but there's definitely kids out there that feel that.
Yeah, no, I
They
mean,
go through that like, I'm either going to kill myself or I'm going to get huge.
something. Yeah.
Thought process.
Well, I'm glad I chose the get huge part, because like I just remember going up, literally trying to find a way to get up on top of a middle school and jump off. That is how low I got over this girl's comment. It literally shot me down. It did. And she was already like, I knew who she was like messing with too. It was just like, this dude's like absolutely way bigger than me and taller, everything. And I was like, just, you know, you just like put things through your head and like you just want to end everything. And
You're already
like,
so fucking tall. What?
dude, fun fact, I graduated as a senior at 5'9", 5'9.5". I didn't have my growth spurt until the middle of college.
What? How tall are you now?
6 foot, like on the dot with no shoes.
That's crazy.
I-
You grew 2.5 inches in college?
Maybe a little more.
That's insane.
Maybe a little more. Yeah. This all happened after I started actually lifting weights. I don't know if there's like a thing to that. I started to lift weights. I started to eat a lot.
Maybe it's eating a lot.
Ate a shit ton, dude. Like my parents were afraid of how much I was eating in like the honeymoon phase. And like I was getting, you know, as I was trying to compete for bodybuilding, you know, like,
Yeah.
did the NPCs and the Arnolds and everything. Like I was just eating. And somehow I just got taller.
See, I fucked myself up with that. I starved myself to like, I basically starved myself for my entire teenage
I
life.
remember you telling me,
Yeah. It's the wrong time to do it. And then I had zero sleep because, you know, I'd sneak over to the office room to play RuneScape and watch anime when my parents weren't awake.
But
Because I wasn't allowed to do anything.
I mean, you look like Baki now, though. Which is like my ideal.
Anyways, back to your, you were telling me about, you were on that rooftop.
You know, just wanted to drop everything, man. That was the first relationship. Like that, my first relationship was 3.5, 4 years too. I dated her all through high school. Thought that was a girl in my dreams. You know, it's your first love. So, had that. But I remember calling my mom, like crying and everything. And, you know, it's just typical Asian parents. I have a great mom, by the way. I do have a great relationship with my parents. I really do. I know it's the opposite with yours, but, I definitely had the support, but the Asian parent thing definitely came in on like those situations where they couldn't understand. So like I was like crying, like I just want to end and my mom's literally like, "Oh, go ahead, go do it." Yeah, right. I bet you won't. Like literally, you're just like, you're stupid. You think it's just a girl that, you know what I mean? Like you don't understand. And I think at that time, I just wanted somebody to like cry, cry too. Nobody wanted to hear me, man. Nobody. None of my friends. I remember my closest friends. I was calling them. That was the time I knew they weren't my close friends. They were not there for me.
I don't want to bag on Asian culture and shit like that, but honestly, dude, I just wish it was better like our parents.
No.
Like, I feel like that's just
It's gonna change because we're different. Wait, I think we're taking the good out of what our parents, like the Asian culture, can do. But at the same time, like I can see it kind of changing a bit because I see my sister. She's married to an Asian guy too. Beautiful niece, two awesome nephews, and I'm seeing how they're getting raised. They're mixing it up. Like we take the good of our culture, the discipline, the respect, the cultural values of family, but the part of like not listening to each other and stuff, like got to really communicate.
Mhm.
So I think like when the day comes where you have kids and a beautiful family and so am I, like I feel like we're smart enough to know what we can take from our culture and from our parents, and then also what you believe in your philosophies.
Mhm.
That's what I truly believe. I think it's going to start changing now. Because, I mean, it can't. I'm speaking at least for my parents. I'm not going to speak on yours or, other people's situations. Like, they don't know. They only know what they knew. My dad was like a super homeless dude in the Korean hierarchy, had nothing, had to work for everything for breads and crumbs. Like, you can do a whole documentary movie on him. Absolutely insane. I respect my dad so much. And then my mom, just being this like girl who taking a chance to fly to America to be with my dad and knew nothing and didn't finish school or anything. And they both had to learn how to speak English by just living in America and watching like a TV show and trying to read a book, and having like little to no money and then building a massive business. Like my dad grew one of the largest taekwondo martial arts business in the whole Midwest. That's our last name. Like I grew up doing martial arts because of him, that's all of both of them chasing their dreams and taking a chance on themselves. But at the same time, like that's how they were raised or what they gone through. So like, I think they just kind of threw that at me and my sister. I think my sister got it way worse than me because I was the youngest. But at least for me, looking back, I can't really blame them for how they reacted. And, we still have those same similar situations. If I talk to them about something, like the communication is definitely off. But I try to just look at their end like, that's all they know.
It is.
It's all they know. And it's like coming from me, I'm just assuming like if I have a kid, like I'm going to give them my philosophies and stuff. And they're like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I feel like that's just a complete full circle thing. You're going to have kids. They're just going to think you don't know anything because the world and life is always changing. So kind of just have to learn and adapt.
Well, I think we were granted the gift of getting to know what not to do for all our children because we know what we wouldn't want for ourselves. Probably like we wouldn't want to be egged on to kill ourselves by our own parents. It's not something that we would all really want. I feel like that's maybe a reason why a lot of the suicide rates in Asia are the highest.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty high.
I think at the same time, like you said, though, we never really will know until we're there. So I think as long as we keep the perception that we want to love, I think that will help lead us in the right direction. Hopefully our opinions and our mindset stays the same, and I think it will.
Yeah, it's like you got a good feeling about certain people. You just know where their core values are at and where they stand. And yeah, like I said, it's just like that energy thing. Like I just know that about you. So I don't think you're going to change much, at least core value wise. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's our foundation. And that's why, you find success in what you're doing now because you have a very strong foundation
Mm-hmm.
and definitely built a strong resilience towards, we talk about rejection or just anything negative in your life. You know, you just built such a strong tolerance for it. So it's kind of like when we say like tattoos, like I'm scared of tattoos, but it's like, you know, you're still going to get it. It hurts, but like you can still go through it, you know, and the more you get, the easier they are, you know, so, but it still probably hurts. And my bitch ass still doesn't have one, so, because I'm scared of needles.
Is that really why?
Yeah, I'm so scared of needles.
What?
I know. Deep down, I want to be completely tatted. I want to look like an absolute fuckboy.
I promise, bro, it's not that bad. I was scared of needles for forever, man. It's one of those things that like you get over really quickly. I truly believe.
I feel like if I get one, I'm gonna be broke and just spend so much money and just have my whole body.
Yeah, it's probably gonna happen.
God damn it. So I'm gonna try not to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want one before I die.
So fuckboy Benji though, right? Fuckboy Benji. Fuckboy Benji, dude. I think fuckboy Benji right now isn't so fuckboy, especially as Tiff might think. But I know for a fact though, in your last relationship, it's something that you had to learn from my knowledge.
Yeah, I gotta learn a lot.
How did this all go down?
Wow. You know what? I'm gonna be really honest with you. This is the first time I'm gonna be talking about it like live. Like, you know, people would definitely listen to this. Yeah. This is the first time it's out. Like, there's stuff that she don't even know that if she heard this, it's out. So I'm ready.
You're okay?
Of course. Of course. I mean, you just can't, like, that's the whole point of a podcast, you know? And that's the whole point of, like, why I want to be here. You know, someone's going to relate to this if they hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I just want people to know, like, I don't care what girls say. And I read these TikToks or these memes, and it's like, oh, dudes don't change. Once a cheater, always a cheater. It's like, no, it's not. You know, there's a certain amount of growth in men, you know, and we all grow at different stages in our life. You know, so for me, at least, as I said, the whole spiel story, didn't grow up with a lot of attention. Oh, he's ugly, blah, 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 whatever. So regardless, met a girl that absolutely fell in love with the moment I saw her. And I believe she did too. That's why everything hit off really well. I actually met her in California. I flew in for a basketball workout. And we were actually just messaging on Instagram. Nothing crazy, you know. Met up, instant connection, right? I left. Didn't think we were going to talk again. So it was kind of sad. But I got called up again to play in the Drew League, which is like the most infamous summer basketball league for pros. It's held in California. So I had to move here for 5 months. Mm-hmm. And it was like the perfect time. Like I moved here and she's like, oh, great. So then within that whole time, she lived with me. So, you know, obviously she weathered through the storm and went through a lot. Absolutely fell in love. And then when the 5 months ended, it got sad. I had to move back to Michigan. She's never left California and she moved back with me. She dropped everything she had here.
Wait, hold on. That went really quickly.
Yeah. This is all within like 6 months. Our first 6 months.
Wait, so you guys met up again?
So met, left, got called for a job basically to play here in California. Mm-hmm. So she basically lived with me for that 5 months in the apartment that I was at. And also when my apartment ended, the lease or whatever, I stayed at her place.
Wait, like a month. What do you mean by you left and then you got called to a job?
So
I thought you guys
I did a basketball workout. So it was like a tryout, technically, in California. Uh-huh. And within that 1 week I was here, I just met up with her. It was like an Instagram.
I see.
Hook up, meet up.
Okay.
But like it ended up being like something more than just like meeting up, you know? But so when I left, I thought I'd never see her again. Only if I went to California. So she even thought the same thing. She goes, yeah, I don't know how to like let go, but I don't know if this is going to work, you know? Yeah. But then I get a call like, hey, you got to move to California for 5 months. So it was like the perfect time. As we were about to like maybe stop talking, I literally called her and being like, oh, guess what? I was like, I actually have to move there for 5 months. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, I guess we can keep going with this. And yeah, it was a really good 5 months, man. I would say, like, looking back, I know it's like past of the past, but that was such an amazing 5 months. I miss that version of myself. I think that was the first time I was like so happy. That's why. It was like a real relationship. I wasn't a pro basketball player yet, you know. I was just trying to live my dream. And there was just like this beautiful girl that just believed in me and thought I was attractive in every way, no matter what mistakes I made or learning. She just thought I was like perfect how I was. So I think the growth, yeah, I know it sucks. The growth, yeah, that's me being honest. I will sometimes be in deep thought, and when I get in deep thought, I like to like go back in time, and I actually think like I throw myself back in those moments because I'm like, I think that was when I was like the purest form of happiness for me. Was like that 5 months, because like there was no judgment about me. No one thought I would make it to playing basketball. I was like trying to grow into it. I just got out of that first real relationship, you know what I mean? It took like 3-4 years until I dated her. But it was just like real, you know? I think we both needed each other at the time. So once that 5 months ended though, I just didn't want to like not be with her anymore. But I had to go back home, obviously, you know? And to my surprise, she was like, you know what? I'm going to pack up and she's going to use her money and find a place in Michigan. And that's what we did for the next 4.5 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But within the year or so, when she moved in, she stayed with me and my parents. You know, I was living with my parents' basement. And she finally found a place maybe 2 months in. We were going through a lot, but I finally got my first basketball job, like maybe 4 months later. And that was to Mongolia. So, but people don't realize when I go play basketball, like I'm gone for 4 to 8 months. It's like the military in a way, you know? So for her, she was like so happy for me. So she lived in Michigan by herself while I was in different countries playing basketball. And she did that for 4 years. So we'd only spend time like in the summer, maybe a little during the fall, but the winter, spring, I was gone. And we'd only FaceTime and we'd be on 12-hour different time zones. I'd talk to her in the morning, or she'd have to wake up early in the morning just to talk to me. Like she found time. And I guess the F-boy part of me came out when I started to finally get attention. You know, I was playing in other countries, focused on basketball, very content with my girlfriend at the time. You know, like I didn't want any trouble. But I'd play in these countries and I just realized I'd get like all these requests on Facebook and Instagram and DMs, and I'd walk into these games and I kid you not, like you can talk to my teammates, I get them on the phone, they'll tell you, like I would walk into the arena and there'll literally be like posters of me, girls holding it, and just girls throughout the whole gym screaming my name. And it had nothing to do with basketball. Nothing. Like one of them had an old Instagram photo of me shirtless and held it up. Like that was kind of embarrassing, but you know what I mean? Like that was the type of attention I was getting, and I didn't know how to process that at all. I didn't. And you know, I know girls or some people are not going to understand that. Like, oh, you should still. I'm like, no, like it's a whole new world now. Like I don't know what's going on. I'm a professional athlete in different countries, and I went from having zero attention to having unlimited amount of attention, to a point like I had nightclubs in those countries telling me, come Friday, we'll put a picture of you come in free with your teammates, everything is free the whole night. Like that's the type of weekends I had. So eventually I got caught up in those scenarios, And it was just like a rush. So deep down, like I loved my girlfriend, loved her, but I still wanted to like see or feel what it's like to be wanted, I guess, or like liked, because I really didn't have that. And it kind of sucks. So once I got a taste of it, and it's like being, it's not like I got like, I didn't get like little bits and pieces of it, right? I got put into the fire. Like whatever I want, I got at that time. So it was this rush of like drugs, I felt like, and I was just like, I just wanted more and more and more. And then I started distancing myself from my relationship. I just wanted more of what I was getting in these countries, the attention and the fame. And I can feel my relationship dying, you know, with her. But she still weathered through it. Like looking back, I wish we can like talk in person again. And I just want to like tell her thank you. But she really weathered through it. She put up with all the BS. She put up with all the potential lies, the suspicions. And she just trusted me the whole time. And I definitely broke that. And I would just do that for years. Nothing happened. And then finally, by the end of my career, funny part is like, she caught me cheating while I was in Miami. I wasn't even out of the country. I was actually going to Miami. It was on my birthday. I took a trip to Miami because I wanted to get another certification for training, just to like amp up my training business. Because this is when I was like basically retiring from basketball and I was just training kids. So I went to Miami to go get a cert, learn from like NBA trainers and stuff, and end up with a girl that's from Michigan that was there on spring break. And she just found her way up to my room. Not like I asked for it, you know, like messaging, and it was very typical. Like late night, she wanted to come over. That happened. I straight up told this person, like, this is where it ends, you know, like there's nothing more. Keep it between us. And she said, yeah, but when we came back, she was a little bit, obviously still liked me. And she found out I had a girlfriend. So she ended up messaging my ex, which got me caught. And yeah, so that sucked. But she came back a month later and gave me another chance. So the last year, it got better. You know, we were working on things. She moved to a new apartment closer to my family so we can kind of be together. And things were getting good. No problems. I wasn't doing anything. And I had all these plans. And I moved here last year, right? The actual thing we were supposed to do was I was supposed to move to California with her. So 2 months before I moved here, that's when we broke up. So it's like a little over a year. But around that time, you know, there were still ups and downs. Obviously, the glass is broken, right? I cheat, like, simple arguments have become huge. But she just randomly saw this, like, pretty attractive girl follow me. I didn't follow back or anything, right? But she looked and she saw, blew up, and she said, that's it, I'm done. Because she just assumed I was doing something. So she ended the relationship solely off of something I actually didn't do. And the other crazy part is, like, some of my friends know, like, I actually planned on marrying her this past October. So the goal was to move to California together, go through it a little bit, and I was going to propose to her. And like the October that just passed. So I was supposed to actually, like, I definitely wanted to marry her, but obviously didn't work out. So I moved here by myself, and now I'm here. But if I was still with her, bro, I would not have gone this far of even meeting you and other people. I truly believe. I believe me being single, sitting into the pains and the shitty stuff that I've done in my past helped me become who I am right now. And I would not been able to have as much experience as I had if I was like still with her, you know, because obviously I'd have to work on that. I wouldn't be able to go out as much. You know how relationships are. So
I don't know what you were like back then, but I know what you are like now, bro. And you are a much, much better person.
yeah,
I've only ever seen love and honesty from you
yeah,
to everyone, even to females that you're talking to, not just as friends, you know. I've only seen just pure honesty, and I can see that that's in you. So um, I do believe that you, just like I, have experienced the same thing and realizations that if we want a better life, if we don't want that person that we've loved so much, the person we planned to marry, to leave us, we better fucking step up our game and
yeah,
stop the shit.
exactly, bro. I was like, that's why I hate hearing, and you know, you can't talk to certain girls and certain people that just truly believe like once a cheater or always a cheater, or like dudes don't actually change or they don't. I was like, listen, well, you don't know me, or I guess I'm just like the odd man out because I really believe you. Like that was such a traumatic it shouldn't be traumatic for me. It should be more traumatic for, you know, her, obviously, because of everything I've done, right? Like for me, it was just more of, I was basically raised by my mom and my sister. My dad was in the picture. He was always working though, you know, but like I know my mom and sister didn't raise me that way, you know, and I think the biggest thing I just look is like, I can't believe I even treated a human being like that, because that's just showed me how selfish I was. I learned how selfish I was through that whole relationship. And now I'm learning how, damn, this really sucks to say, but I always tell myself, and it shouldn't be like I should be caught up on this person still, but you know, love is love, right? But if she saw how I was now, I'm everything and more that she's ever wanted. I know that 1,000,000%. How I am now is exactly the person she wish I like. This is all she asked from me. She's a typical California girl, right? She lived there her whole life. And now I'm like learning to have friends. I didn't grow up with Asian, like she had this whole group of Asian friends, like kind of like what we have, right? Like I didn't grow up with that. So now I'm looking back at how I treated her. I'm like, oh, let's just stay in. Oh, we don't need to hang out with friends. Like, I was like, because I didn't know how it felt to have friends. I didn't know how it felt to be loved by like a bunch of people, or like just being around a lot of Asian people, you know? And now
At least
that,
just people that you felt like were like you.
yeah, they can like understand and relate to me. So it's like now I see what she was always asking out of me. And like, and again, it's not anything against my parents or my sister or anything. Like they literally do everything. Like they're my number one supporters and fans. But it's like, I was blocked off because I just felt like I couldn't grow, but she was trying to help me grow. But I was like too big on this Korean culture thing. Like whatever my mom says, go. You know, my mom's my life. My mom says, you know what I mean? And I would just be very secluded in my box, like focus on my work, focus on my money. That's all you need to do. You don't need all these experiences, you know? And I was like, no, mom, I needed all this. Like, I might not be in the best financial spot right now because it's a different lifestyle. It's not what I'm used to. You know, I had way more stability back then. But I'm the best I've ever felt here. The absolute best. And I wouldn't trade that for the world. I'd rather be broke and feel the way I feel now than have the money that I used to have and just feel fucking miserable, or I don't know, like kind of a piece of shit, you know? Because right now I don't feel that way. Like, I definitely feel in my element. So yeah, that's the only shitty part is, damn, now I know what you're talking about. And to that person, I'm sorry, you know, like that sucks that you had to go through that, but I'm sure that had to happen to you as well to get to where you're supposed to be. So I do know that we did play a big part in each other's lives. So she said that too. We had a closure talk, I think around January or February, like after my birthday. Got on a little call and finally closed it up. But that hurt too. Kind of wish we didn't have that closure talk. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I think it's kind of funny when people think we're fuckboys. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like we have so much more substance than most. I was like, if you really get to know us,
I really don't think people think we're fuckboys. Like, we were just joking about that on this podcast, but like the people who joke about that with us are people who are just joking.
Yeah, that is
like
true.
Tiff just jokes about that.
Yeah. That is true. But yeah, I think we're a lot deeper than what we give out. You know, we definitely both went through a lot.
Right. I think you and I have maybe it can be sensed though that we have been. That was like something in our past. So that's why maybe if you we have like we're out with friends in that social space, you can feel that social energy that we have. Maybe that is the social energy of someone who has been a fuckboy. Maybe it's like a confidence that's brought up or something, or always being able to talk and say whatever whenever you need to or whatever you want to. But I know that you and I are in this new place where that phase where we were doing things that we do not see as morally right, nor would serve us now, was drastically different. Yeah. Drastically different, dude. Like, I know what the fuckboy phase looked like for me, and I never actually cheated in my relationship, but I am the reason for all of its traumas and the reason it didn't continue. Because just like you, the pain I caused her for seeing other girls or doing other things that still broke her trust, right? Could be forgiven but never forgotten. It's something we should always remember, and that we always will. Is that even through all that pain, even if we've worked through something, the tiny little thing that just comes up
can trigger it all.
Can trigger it right back up.
Yeah.
Right?
Literally.
She just saw someone follow you. You weren't even following her back. You guys didn't even talk.
Nothing.
But it just, she couldn't handle it.
Yeah. It was like, it's the breaking point, you know? Like, they all hit it. So, like I said, I just looked back, especially when we talked, I was just more like, I get it, you know? But she can only take what I say for a grain of salt, you know, because she's growing and I'm telling her, like, oh, I've changed. You know, like, I actually have friends. I'm doing this. But, you know, you can hear in her voice, it's like, you know, she believes it. But in her head, I can tell, like, how we talked. And you just know that person enough to know, like, it was, I love you, but I just, you know, I can't deal with the pain that might come back up. It's not that you might have been a better person now. It's just there's too much going on. But
it's something that people can fight through. But if we're going to be real, it's hard not to look at your partner differently when something like that happens. It is hard. It's very hard.
Probably. I have not, thankfully, knock on wood, have not been in a scenario outside of my very first relationship of feeling that, you know, getting cheated and like trying to go back and try and fix it. But I can only imagine like holding that in my stomach and trying to like not let that come out, you know, like it probably just sucks. Yeah. That's why like I know for a fact, like where I'm at now, you know, when I do get into another relationship, I'm definitely learned. And I'm more in a mindset of like, if I'm going to do this, it's not, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, I don't want to hurt someone again.
Right.
Like, I just don't. It's not even about dating somebody anymore. It's like, just in general, like, I don't even want to, like, as friends, like, if we have a falling out, dude, I hope our fallout is just mutual and, like, respectful. You know, something that's just like, hey, it's just like, hey, I respect you, but, you know, something where we can really talk. I just don't want to hurt somebody again, you know? Even my friends, like I think I just hurt that one person and a few people in my life where so much to a point where like I'm so embarrassed by it. Like it still haunts me every day. I don't know, just haunts me. Just does. I can be deep in my thought every night before I go to bed. And I'm just like, I can't believe I don't know why. I just don't like being viewed that way. But I also think that's why I'm way more smiley now. And I'm also trying to be open and really social and just being an open book with people, because I just want to show that type of love and energy to people and just know, like, I've definitely learned, and I just don't want people to view me that way. And I know that's like a insecurity thing, but it's just me being honest.
I don't think it's an insecurity thing at all.
Yeah, it's
You're
like
taking accountability. That's something that we both need to do. If we want to move forward and become a new person, if we want to evolve out of the person that we were before that did not serve ourselves nor the others around us, then it's time for us to take accountability. Without taking accountability of what you've done, you have no power to change your life. Damn. Without taking accountability for what you've done, you have no power to change your life. So if we always play victim, like she cheated on me and she did all this, and like she was always mean in the relationship or whatever. The next relationship, I'm probably going to see that again. Or the next relationship, if that happens, like,
you gotta,
right?
Because I remember everyone like saying, like, you know, when I was in that relationship, it was like, oh my God, I'm glad it's over. Like, she was so toxic. She was like that's what my friends and family would say, right? And I would, like, at that moment, but now that I've had so much time away from it and I really think about it, the amount of accountability I'm taking is I literally look at it like, no, I made you guys view her that way because I gaslighted the shit out of her, probably, looking back. And it's like, if anything, I was the asshole. I was the one creating all this drama for no reason. Like, this is someone who literally moved her entire life to another state, like, for me. And I cannot believe till this day. And you know what? It's probably lost hope, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'll find somebody that committed to me again with how this world is working, you know, and being social media influencers or actors, or, you know what I mean? Like, and how people view you. It's just like more, I'm worried that I'm not going to find something that wholesome and genuine again, because I know I'm able to love that person properly now. But I do believe one thing is I am worthy of that type of love still, because if I got that while I was still learning, that means as I'm growing, like, I still am capable of getting that again.
You and I will find that again, as long as we keep our heart open. It's a little bit scary, you know, because of what we've been through and what we've experienced. And it's hard to, I'd say, in our position too, like, looking at how you and I have navigated our social life and even our love life, even though our love life hasn't been really very much the last several months.
No.
How we've navigated it. You know, commitment can be a little bit scary.
Yeah, it's frightening as shit.
I think that's something you and I acknowledge in ourselves.
Yeah.
But when the time comes, it's up to us to make the decision that this person is the person for us to commit to.
Yeah.
We need to know that. And as long as we realize that and we make that decision, like men should, like someone should in their masculinity, be decisive and commit to it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's where,
it's
like,
hard.
That's where all this, like, especially in California, where all these situations come up, situationships and stuff is, you know, I talk to some people, some girls and, like, other people about it. And I try to explain to them, like, especially for me, like, obviously we don't want to have situationships or we don't want to play around, you know, but it's like, we're also trying to navigate and figure out, like, can I actually commit to you, you know? And, like, that's the scary part is, like, especially, like, with girls, it's like, you also have to show me something, you know? I think a lot of people I've met here, at least the ones I've, like, you know, tried to date, it's very one-sided. Like, everything is like, we have to show, we have to do this because, like, they have plenty of options, you know, and stuff like that. But for me, I'm just like, no, like, I'm also attracted to somebody who also gives me 100% too, you know, because I know I can give that much now. So I feel like situations are happening out here because it's hard for us to really commit, but it's also because we can't find the one that really just, we know that person wants to ride for us. And I think we both have so much to offer somebody, and we have to like really guard that.
I think it takes a little time though. I think it takes a little time for us to open up to the possibility that someone that we don't think could be. And by doing that, that's when we realize, holy shit, that person is. Because we both know, at least I know for myself, and I think maybe you do. I know for myself, I didn't realize that she was the person I wanted to marry until, honestly, years into the excursion.
I feel you.
I think it took at least a couple years for me to realize, like, yeah, like I wanna marry you, you know?
Yeah.
But by the time it's been a couple years, I already gave her a year of trauma.
Doesn't that suck?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like you wish?
I wish I knew better. I wish I knew better, but now I know.
But do you wish?
So now I'm better and stronger.
Do you wish you could go back and fix it, or are you good with where you're at right now?
I choose never to regret what happened because I would not have known. I can't wish something that just isn't true.
I was always curious. Yeah. I'd say the same thing. I was just like always curious to see if someone's like willing to go back in time,
right,
and try and fix it, or are they willing to just like suck it up and see where life is actually supposed to take you? You know, because maybe that person is your person. Maybe they just come back later. You know, but maybe that's the hopeful part of us.
Or maybe they were the person to lead us to be enough for our person.
There you go. Man, you are smart ass motherfucker.
That's smart, dude.
That's the biomedical engineer.
We just cried alone too many times.
Yeah, I definitely cried too much. I cried a shit ton. Like,
oh shit.
Yeah, damn. I was such a crybaby back then. It's okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're way better now, and we're gonna have a great weekend for J-Ro's birthday this weekend.
Oh, we're gonna have a fantastic time. We always have a great time.
Oh yeah.
You're like my favorite person to party with now.
Bro.
I don't know why.
Let's go. By party, we mean stay sober and do pull-ups.
Yeah, literally pull-ups and push-ups.
Dancing and cardio.
Yes. And then like I try to take my shirt off, but then I see you take your
Definitely. We definitely take our shirts off at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone's just expecting us. Actually, it's more surprising when they see us with our shirts on, which is really funny. Now, like that's the label we have.
Oh yeah. Like, why the fuck do you have your shirt on still?
I was like,
I feel like we get the comment all the time.
I was like, dude, give me like 30 more minutes. It's still a little cold. like, we just like, yeah.
Fucking nipples are ripping through my shirt.
I know, ridiculous.
All right, dude. I am so happy that I brought you on this podcast, man. That was fucking sick.
Oh, dude, I'm always happy to be a part of whatever you got going on, man. I'm like, honestly, like I said, since we're ending it, I just want to say, like, one, super happy that we met. Really do. Not just saying that to say it. I know everyone kind of says shit like that, but like, I truly am so thankful to have or met like someone like you and many others, and have them in my life, and now be able to like call you like, you know, one of my like best friends now. Like it's honestly fucking unreal for the short amount of time that we've known each other and how much it's grown exponentially at different speeds. That might be part of my growth, but like the fact that you're a part of it blows my mind. Super thankful to have you in my life, and you know, hopefully it just continues to grow and we have a shit ton more memories, because the memories we have now are absolutely insane. And I hope they just get even more interesting. I really do. And yeah, full send, man. I really think I just know, you know, when I see somebody and I know they're about to go do something with their life, the reason why I'm probably like admire you a shit ton and respect you a lot and like being around your corner is because like I feel like deep down I know something's about to fucking blow the fuck up for you. And it's just gonna be fucking dope to see. So I fuck with you, man. Love you too.
Thank you, bro. Fuck with you too, man.
Yeah.
We got a lot of love and life ahead of us.
Too much. Way too much. And then yeah, we're not fuck boys. So we're actually big babies. We're just nice boys.
Nice boys. The nice boys that finish last.
Nice boys
That's
that
what we
always
get.
finish last. Yeah.
Anyways, where can we find you, bro?
You can find me if you like fitness and basketball content. It's BKIL10, BKIL10. If you want to follow my personal page where it's fun, more like funny reels and my cinematics and probably my personal life more, it'll just be Benji Kil _. So BenjiKil_. So I'm probably the only Benji and Niles following anyway. So if you need to find me, I'm like the only cool Benji in this page.
The only cool Benji isn't the only Benji.
Yeah. If there's another Benji, I'll fight his ass. Change your name to Ben or something.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you guys for listening. If you guys want to support us as usual, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, or you can rate us 5 stars on anywhere you find your podcast.
Dude, fucking subscribe. Just subscribe. Just subscribe to this fucking channel, this podcast. Help your boy out.
And then finally, if you guys want to help fund the podcast, you can by using a code Nyle off a discount of Young LA and Huge Supplements. Do you have a code for anything?
For gym supplements, JYM. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But let's keep it at Huge. That's cool.
What?
Let's keep it at Huge.
If you guys like gym supplements, you use those, then Benji has a discount.
Yeah, it's just my name, Benji, Benji. So it's pretty simple. But yeah, let's just stick with Niles. let's support Nile.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening again. Love you, brother. Let's have a great weekend.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Peace, fam.
Peace.